We can, yeah.
Okay. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to this evening session. Today's session is a bit special for all of us. Our director, Professor Kamakoti, has time and again spoken to all our alumni in our chapter meets and our events about the rural interaction centers. And today we have here Mr. Nagarajan with us, who is in charge and who runs these rural interaction centers. Welcome, Mr. Nagarajan. Thank you so much for joining us today on this call. Before we begin into introduction and about the centers, I request Shamla Rajaram, President of IIT Madras Alumni Association, to address the gathering and let us know how we're going to take things forward with the centers. Over to you, Shamla.
Wonderful, everybody. It is so lovely to see so many of you joining us here today. It's indeed a very special occasion that we have today here. An opportunity to present a very fond program of our director, the Rural Interaction Center, and to have Nagarajan Pichumani join us right from Delhi today to present this program. Through this program, the impact of this program is that there are students in the rural India who have really escalated the way they have performed in their examinations through this intervention. And I think this is a wonderful opportunity for the alumni of IIT Madras to just join hands with the great work that is already happening and accelerate the way and amplify the way we can give back to society. And hence, I really look forward to hearing how Rural Interaction Center has been creating this impact, and look forward to also having many of you here joining hands with us so that we can amplify the impact that's already happening. Thank you, everybody, once again for joining.
Thank you, Shamla. We're expecting our director to join us for the session today. We've just come to know that he's busy in another meeting, but as soon as he can, he will be joining us. Let me take this opportunity to introduce our speaker today, Mr. Nagarajan Pinchumani. Mr. Nagarajan is the founder and CEO of Resilio Labs. He has spent his entire career in performance engineering and testing and has worked in some of the most complex problems in the industry. Prior to this, he has co-founded Apido and was the founder CEO for SoftSmith Infotech, an organization that is dedicated to performance engineering, reporting, testing, and test automation. He has a BE in computer science from the College of Engineering, Guindy. His other side, he's very passionate about Carnatic music, classical music, writing poetry in Tamil, playing badminton, and mentoring young and energetic people in technology. He mentors early-stage startups and helps them to create a stable product. Right now, he is currently the project advisor to IIT Madras's Pravartak Technologies Foundation. He heads the team of volunteers for the Vidya Shakti / Kalvi Shakti that runs the rural interaction centers in Tamil Nadu and Uttar Pradesh. Currently, they have 200 such villages that are covered. Thank you, Mr. Nagarajan, for joining us here today. And I'm going to give you the mic and this stage for you to speak on these centers and how our alumni can engage more meaningfully and add value to the students in these centers. Thank you so much, everyone. Over to you, Mr. Nagarajan.
Thank you, Nishani, and thank you, Shamlaji. Hope my voice is clear to everyone. It's a great pleasure to meet all of great eminent people like you, and this is it's an honor, and I'm humbled. So it's a great opportunity. My association with IIT Madras starts with actually badminton. I was in the opposite campus, College of Engineering, Guindy. Used to come to IIT Madras to play badminton inside the hostel premises. So that was way back in 1988 to 1992. The rural interaction centers The reasons for starting rural interaction centers, we have been thinking about that since 2017, but actually it materialized from 2021. One of the primary reasons that we started rural interaction centers is that there is a gross migration of teachers from rural areas to the nearby towns. My village is probably the record in India or in the world. 1975 to 1985, the whole village had 40 working teachers in service from the same village. Today, there is hardly maybe 2 or 3 in the same village. Because of the migration to the nearby towns by the teachers, the access to evening tuitions or morning tuitions or additional classes after school hours is completely off for most of the villages. We have done an extensive survey across 1,000 villages in Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu has got 70,000 villages. Of that, we surveyed about 1,000. The tuition, access to tuition, because in any class, hardly 50% gets even with all the explanation. Remaining 50%, they take time. They need additional coaching. This is number one reason. So they don't have access to a very good tuition set of teachers. Number two, the content that most of the universities are developing in terms of recorded content, almost 80 to 85% of the rural kids are not in a position to consume that recorded content unless the student is in a state where that student can do self-paced learning or unattended learning. They are not able to consume the recorded content. Because of that, how much ever we give in terms of great lectures, it becomes very difficult for them to consume and make use of it. All need some dedicated place and dedicated coordinators and dedicated time. That is how this got formed. I'll start sharing my presentation. First 10 minutes, I will go through that. Again, after that, lot of information will come. In between, any questions, please ask. You can also type as well as send through the chat.
Actually, Mr.
Now,
Nagarajan, I'm just
presenting.
going to request you to just pause here. We have Director Professor Kamakoti has joined us and he would like to address the participants. So if you don't mind, I request Professor, we will just move to this presentation as quickly as possible, but I would request our director to please address the gathering and his thoughts on
Yes.
rural interaction centers. Welcome,
Sure,
Professor Kamakoti.
Can we spotlight him, Nishani?
He just left. Okay, he came back.
Professor Kamakoti? Sir, you can unmute your... Yes, sir.
Yeah, hello.
Hello.
Hello. Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. So, shall I talk now?
Yes, sir. Please, you're on
Okay.
spotlight and everyone's eager to hear about these centers and your passion for it eagerly.
Yeah. So, as Nagarajan mentioned, for the experiments that we would like to put in place, specifically addressing the sustainable development goal 4 of the United Nations, need to ensure equitable, affordable, accessible, quality education to all. And today, when we look at the entire education system, not just in India, but across the world, but India, it shows up significantly because of the scale, because of the large population that we have. the type of education imparted, type of opportunities, and basic what do you say, the 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 exposure that a student gets at different parts of our country is not equal. And this effort is basically to equalize that and give quality education. And, we are running this entire show through CSR activity. So we are not charging the students. And we are also creating some small rural employment there. At least one person in the village get something worthwhile to do of trying to be a caretaker towards an initiative of providing quality education to the kids of those villages. We started off with, 5 centers, rural interaction centers in 2002. February, we started. Nagarajan has taken that effort from that point. And that 5 centers itself gave us such a very, very interesting result in those 3 to 4 months. And there was an examination, probably the first public examination after COVID in 2022, wherein there was a village where there were no biology teacher. And they asked us, the kids actually sent a message saying, could you arrange biology classes? Friends, you won't believe, we just arranged a biology teacher from Chennai and who actually trained them for a month and a half, 45 days, every day sometime. The kids who were failing in biology scored 91 out of 100 within just 1.5 months of training. And they got admitted to Shastra University in a bio course, right? So this is the impact that we could actually make the moment we now start conversing with these children. And that is extremely important. And that is something which each one of us must make it as our collective responsibility. Now, from that point onwards, today we have 100 centers in Uttar Pradesh, Varanasi district, and we have around 90 plus centers in Tamil Nadu. And we see in the last 1 year of intervention in Tamil Nadu, the pass percentage of many institutions in and around the RIC in the last 1 year has gone from 50% to 98%. And this is the impact that this small intervention can do. We have also worked on many things of how to make this particular effort more productive from the children point of view. So we have introduced virtual reality based training, which we do. And we also have introduced where they get a little more practical sort of experience, the virtual practical experience on some of the science experiments, etc. We have also now started, keeping some periodical tests and trying to find out what is the impact of our education. And we are seeing extremely good results. And this very small but effective method is in my view one of the biggest answer to how we are going to achieve a GER, the gross enrollment ratio, from school to higher education. It's basically the number of kids who are eligible to go to higher education, vis-a-vis how many have actually gone. That ratio is what we call as gross enrollment ratio. Today, countrywide, we are around 26, 27. And the national education policy, basically, we have put a target of 50% by 2035, which itself is a very mammoth task. But we really feel that this is going to be a very interesting intervention. We go and talk to the children. We talk to their parents. Education is a permanent wealth that stays lifelong. So these are some of the things that we need to impress upon, and I think this effort is going well. We also have done a lot more of technological optimizations. Initially, the cost of the center was about 50,000 rupees, where we set up a TV, we set up an internet connection and camera, and in some places UPS. But today we have also worked out, and now we are able to set up the center at 30,000 rupees, 20% reduction in cost, 40% reduction in cost by having a television which can be purchased at 15,000 rupees and doing very well. So we are also innovating so that we come with a cost effective, at the same time scalable solution. I must place on record the great amount of responsibility taken by Nagarajan and team. Nagarajan also runs a startup by name Resilio. It's no more a startup, it's a very matured company now. And the entire team there has actually put a lot of effort. And I'm sure with more and more participation, IIT Madras alone cannot solve this problem. But with more and more participation from the alumni, it is going to go to great heights. So my two ask to people who are just joined here, one, if you have a village which you would like to adopt, or your own ancestral village where you find education not up to the mark, we can set up this center and run this center. Setting up is one problem, but as Nagarajan mentioned, to run is the most important problem, right? So that is the most important challenge that we need to address. The second important thing is, many of our illustrious alumni, if you have time, you please take off, say, 1 hour a month or 1 hour every quarter or whatever, 1 hour a year. But spend that time, one quality time, addressing these kids. Today we have access to around 13,000 students, young kids in the 5th to 12th standard, but we need to look at several millions. This need to scale to several millions. And when it scales to that level, certainly we will have a very important solution in place. And let us all work towards a dream where every kid born in our sacred motherland, Bharat, every kid born must be at least a graduate, and that is very, very important. So with these noble thoughts, again, thank the Alumni Association for organizing this, and we look forward to the presentation by Nagaraj. Thank you very much. Looking forward to your active participation. Nagaraj.
Thank you, Professor. It's a great inspiration. I will continue with my PowerPoint presentation. This is the name that we have given in Tamil Nadu in 2021 Vijayadashami Day. We started this as Kalvi Shakti. And our motto is education, employability, and employment. All these three should happen, and we should give a clear roadmap to the rural kids. And what we have done is, the biggest challenge is the best and consistent teaching. Most of the teachers, especially in the rural schools, are not equipped to the digital infrastructure. So that is one of the biggest challenges. And as we speak, through Vidya Shakti, now we are going to train, we have got an order from Andhra Pradesh government to upskill 19,000 school science teachers and 9,000 school maths teachers to use simulation software that IITM Pravartak is going to do. It's a mammoth task using online media, because teachers themselves need a lot of upskilling and reskilling to consume digital tools and digital content. And the subjects that we have all learned, right from Pythagoras theorem to all the Archimedes theory, everything is all same, but only thing is the way it is conveyed to the students in an inspiring way that is missing, especially in the 5th to 12th grades, which is the fundamental block for the higher education. So we want to definitely teach in an inspiring way. And COVID has done a very, very bad part in terms of creating a huge gap between rich versus poor and urban versus rural. So because that gap, existing teachers alone cannot finish that job. The entire society should help and then augment their needs, because people without knowing the concept of 2 points on a plane, next grade they have to see the distance between those 2 points. In the next grade they have to see the area when multiple lines form an area. Without knowing points, they landed up after 2 years to study area. So this gap is reflecting even up to the college level now. So this is a big challenge. This is across the world. And as Professor Kama mentioned, we are right now operating in 92 villages across spread across Tamil Nadu, and 100 villages in Varanasi district. Again, our connection from IIT Madras, our team did the Kasi Sangamam from Tamil Nadu. 2,500 people were sent to Varanasi as part of cultural exchange. And IIT Madras and IIT BHU did that together. So we chose the Varanasi district, and 100 villages are there. You can see Mata Ganga is going like a garland to Varanasi. So this is our current presence. And all, as Professor Kama mentioned, this is all done through the noble donations through CSR. One minute. What is the special thing with respect to Vidya Shakti? As per the new national education policy, we want to do it through mother tongue, because a lot of schools are there English medium, but the rural schools belong to the state board of education, not necessarily onto NCERT central board. They are all state board education and they are all in mother tongue. So that is the fundamental thing that we need to give it to them. We cannot put one teacher to every village. That is not a scalable model. So the technology intervention, pretty much like we are all together in this meeting, this is a centralized internet-based teaching. And as I mentioned before, most students in the rural area are not in a position to do on a self-paced learning mode, on a recorded content or a one-way conversation. So we need to have a dedicated place like library or panchayat board building or Anganwadis or Balwadis. We select a place, put a coordinator. 95% of our coordinators are educated women from the same village who is not employed. So this is also creating a rural women empowerment through part-time employment mode. And another important aspect is not to rush. Most schools, for some reason, they try to finish the syllabus before December because of the peer pressure. Because of that rush, almost half the crowd don't get what exactly is being taught. So they go to the rote memory problem. So we will teach, though the examination is in April or March, they try to finish and then do a training in terms of test, etc. For 2 months to 3 months. That time can be utilized to teach them the fundamental concepts. And we are using simulations. In fact, MHRD has spent a lot of money to create every science experiment using simulation. These are all available. We all know FET by Colorado State University, but Indian government has created O labs, also known as V labs. Every experiment, right from screw gauge to vernier caliper to titration to everything is already available. Most teachers themselves do not know that such a precious content simulation exists. So we show simulation software what 10 pages of text can do, one image can do. Same way, what multiple images can do, maybe even 30 minutes of content can be just shrunk to just 5 to 10 minutes of simulation-based training. So we use simulation software, name it nature of gases or finding out the focal length of the lens or titration or friction, everything we use simulation software to teach them. And most importantly, everything should be measured. So we do micro assessments rather than having a long exam, even half an hour exam or every 1 month or something like that. We take 5 to 10 minutes micro assessments every week. This way, they are not afraid of exams. Many places you can see there is a clear opposition towards a lot of competitive exams because students themselves are not ready to face competitive exams. So we do micro assessments through these things. The way we do it again, we use Zoom, and then there is a centralized set of teachers. We have got 6 Tamil medium teachers for Tamil Nadu and 3 Hindi medium teachers for Varanasi. They teach online. We have scheduled a clear timetable between evening 5:15 and 7:45 in Tamil Nadu. In Uttar Pradesh, sometimes they allow in the school time itself, but during summer it becomes extremely hot. So we need to do it even at the early morning time itself. So the time varies in the UP because of extreme summer and extreme winter situations, whereas Tamil Nadu, it is evening time. So we do that, and all the content, even after that, we put that in YouTube. And many schools are using our online recorded content also, because the sad fact is most of the government schools operate only at max 80% of the teachers. So in the place of 10 teachers, there are only 8 teachers available. In many schools, that is also not there. Unfortunately, if a teacher goes on a long leave, then that is not replaced. So a lot of issues like that. So these recorded content are being consumed by the schools also. And this is our impact. As Professor Kama mentioned, one of the state percentage, pass percentage in 10th and 12th stands between anywhere between 87 and 90. Whereas the list of people who are attending our classes, live classes in Tamil Nadu, in those centers, we could see the pass percentage is 98. And we were actually really surprised because the enthusiasm, when I was studying in 1975 to 80 in my school, we used to have radio class. So we used to go for radio class. Now many students are saying TV class, we are going to the TV class. So they are attending this, and we could see a lot of enthusiasm. The pass percentage has jumped in a very, very big way. One person has scored, has become the school topper near Tiruchendur in Thoothukudi district in Tamil Nadu. They don't have any access to any other tuition or coaching. That person came number 1. Then one person scored centum in 12th chemistry in Tamil Nadu public examination. And more than 12,000 students, both in UP and Tamil Nadu, are benefiting out of this. 192 RICs actually now. It has created almost 195 to 200 jobs in terms of rural women empowerment also. Now, what we found is teaching is one part. At the same time, we have to inspire students towards science. So we have got a set of STEM tutors who physically go to the school, morning one school and evening one school, and show the virtual reality devices with loaded content on it. You name it, photosynthesis, or going to Egyptian pyramid, you can have a 3D 360-degree views, and it creates a wow factor. Because of that, students get more curiosity to learn. So that is one VR-based inspiring. Second, we send a STEM science teacher to the schools, again, morning one and evening one school, to show the experiments live. So that person will go like a medical representative with a kit. This week, light. Next week, magnetism. Next week, electricity. Next week in biology, bone models. So they will take the real scientific equipments with them, show in front of them, and that creates a lot of energy and enthusiasm in the students. And we use simulation labs. What we found out is when we ask the students, hey, yesterday you saw the cinema or the movie, can you tell what happened after the interval? They exactly remember, they give step-by-step details of that movie. Like that, that doesn't happen in the classes for the teachers' lectures. Once we put the virtual reality device, because of the cognition effect and 3D effect, when you ask them in the pyramid, what are you seeing now? Sir, I am seeing something lying down. What is that? What is the name of it? Mummy. So they are able to, this is the biggest effect is because they see that in front of their eyes, they retain it. That's number one effect. Number two effect is, even me, I never opened my mouth during my school days. Making them talk itself is a big task. When they use that virtual reality device or when they see the science experiments in front of them, when we ask questions, what is this? What is this? What are you seeing now? They are able to answer. They come forward to see to tell the answer. That makes them to talk. That because it improves communication in whatever way it helps. So that attention and retention span we could see in a very, very big leap. This is one thing that we have recently published. In Uttar Pradesh, we have conducted, in Tamil Nadu also we are conducting. These results are from Uttar Pradesh. Every week, just 10 questions, MCQs to the students. We will display on the screen. They have to do it on the paper and they do have the peer correction. So they learn when they answer, when they do the peer correction, they take it as a maja and then they correct it in an honest and more effective way. They again learn what is the right answer and wrong answer. Every week, July, August, September, October, we have got covered 14 weeks. In 14 weeks, we could see the average score in 6th English jumped from 5.82 to 6.78. Same way, 8th English, everywhere we could see at least 5% to 10% jumps because 14 continuous weeks without frightening them, making them engaging, making them to participate, the whole population's knowledge moves from 5 point to something to 6 point and 7 point. So this is, and we designed that MCQ in such a manner that out of 10, 2 are extremely tough, 2 are very, very easy, and then rest span within this scale so that we get a consistent input from across the schools. This input is taken across 9,000 students across Varanasi district. And I am in Delhi. This evening, between 3 and 3 o'clock and 5:30, we presented this to the Ministry of Education, and the School Education Secretary, Sanjay ji, actually chaired that meeting. NCERT director was there. What happened is, soon after this presentation, the Education Secretary literally said, we should all go to Varanasi and then see what is happening. When this magic can happen, we should go and then replicate in rest of the places. And their team is already planning to visit Varanasi district. This is again fundamental techniques of micro assessments, making them to participate, do it through their mother tongue, and make them create some inspiration through technology like virtual reality or science experiments or simulation software, and do that at a slow pace. That is the only medicine. With that, we are able to see a big leap in their performance because we want to definitely measure everything at the same time, measure what matters. And this is a great improvement that we could see in those villages. These are all some of the sample photographs from the centers. So you could see some centers having 43-inch TV where per session more than 20 kids are attending, because you need a longer hall and you need a bigger TV for them to view all the things properly. Whereas when we surveyed in the last 2 years, what we found out is the village population, especially the kids population ranging from first grade to 12th grade itself is maximum 100. So per grade, if you see, it is less than 10, rather than putting an expensive 45,000 43-inch TV, we are now able to bring that down, the capex, to just 15,000 rupees. And then we call it as a micro RIC, micro rural interactive center. So that way, with just 20,000 rupees capex in a village, a tuition center is ready. And because of that, the people start coming. And one of the positive effects that we could see is that the kids go and talk to their parents and fellow people in the school. One of the interesting incidents happened that some students answered in the actual school in a very bright manner. That headmaster asked, how did you guys know all these things? Where are you going for tuition? They said, we go to the TV class. Then they asked, who is conducting the TV class? Then they brought that coordinator. The coordinator from that village now is part of the parent teacher association of that particular school to give inputs in terms of the students. Because this is the kids, when they get a good thing and inspire a thing, they willfully share with other people. So that is a very good positive effect that we could see. And that is the rural interaction centers with respect to education. And we very specifically focus from 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, these grades very clearly, because 5th is one cutoff point. Primary education gets over, they have to move to another school, if at all. Again, 8th is another thing, from elementary to secondary, they have to move. 10th is 9th and 10th are one breaking point. And we could see the dropout rate is very high in many places. Last year alone, the numbers are mind-boggling. Last year alone, 11 lakhs people, 11 lakh students dropped out in primary education alone. That's a huge number. That's a very, very huge number. And this problem has to be attacked right now. Otherwise, it will be too late, because they need to get at least a degree, or they have to definitely class 12. Without that, very difficult to get that kind of a rational behavior in them. So this is one area that we can scale, where physical teacher cannot reach, technology and internet can reach, we can go there. And right now, with RailNet fiber in Tamil Nadu, 8,000 villages will have the same bandwidth like we get in Chennai or Mumbai or Delhi. Same way with air fiber and other things, we are getting very good bandwidth. So connectivity is not going to be any more issue, and capital expense is not going to be any issue. So we definitely see this as a scalable model. So this is on the rural interaction center, on the school education parts. Now, as a growth path from this to the next level, we are, as we said, education, employability, and employment. We want to do this rural women empowerment program. The reason is that out of the 192 coordinators in the RICs, 95% of them are women. They're all well educated, BSc, BEd, MSc Mathematics, MA English. They actually got stuck in the village, and whether we like it or not, all these education, modern education, definitely leads to migration. So if somebody studies in the village, they have to migrate. And they are in a smaller town, they have to migrate to a bigger town for a better job. So this migration is continuous process. But there are people who cannot migrate for various reasons. And they got married, they got a break, their husbands are working like a government servant in some village. So they have to be there in the village, or they have properties. But they're all very energized people, very talented people. When we met them, we found, oh, this is a great talent pool. We have to make use of it. When we did a SWOT analysis, what we found out is their strength is educated, motivated, they are local. Like Swami Vivekananda says, give me 1% per village. we will change the entire world. So we are finding one at a time, one per village. They are mature. They don't have any inhibitions. Their weakness is either break in the career due to marriage, or there is no access to PC, the fear factor, and they need definitely reskilling and upskilling. So they treat that break-in career as a threat, and a lot of fragmented NGOs try to help. So they do not know where to go, which NGO I should get attached to. So that is another confusion they have in their minds. And lack of training. Who will train me? I am not ready to work. Who will train me? But the opportunities are there. India has got 7 lakh villages. So abundant workforce is available, talented workforce is available. Internet penetration has definitely improved. So what we did is we picked up a lot of people. We picked up almost 50 people, 50, and then trained them through online because they have a mobile phone. We trained them in basic computer access using Excel and instant messages like Skype, and basic English reading skills. In fact, some of our teachers, voluntary teachers, took Chandamama or Amar Chitra Katha and then started reading that, because when they see the visuals and then see that they are able to relate, they are able to understand English in a better way. And we taught them software testing, how to do manual testing, functional testing, what is positive testing, how to report a bug. We trained them. And also we trained them on how to join Google Meet, Zoom calls, how to send a daily status reports, and how to ask doubts, because many people don't open their mouth, and motivate them, and did a mock interview, and how to do basic data entry and Excel sheets. And we interviewed them in basic writing in their own mother tongue and reading in English, basic addition, subtraction, analytical reasoning test, personal discussion with them in mother tongue, their motivation levels. And then we gave them some instructions, click there, type here. We gave some manual instruction like that. We asked them how they operate the computers, and a simple set of English activities also we gave. We recruited them. Right now, 8 people are working in our startup, and then they are executing test cases for IIT Madras itself. We have that student services portal and some of the internal portals for IIT Madras. These people are testing. All they needed was a proper training in a slow-paced mode. We gave them the laptop. We gave them the internet connection. We asked them to do only 4 hours of work every day, because they have other commitments in the family. And this is a big access. And they are doing a wonderful job. And we could see we started that program in June. Now we have got 8 people already working for us for various projects. We are doing the same kind of training in collaboration with EKAL Foundation. I think many of you would be knowing EKAL, EKAL. EKAL Foundation has got 85,000 one-teacher schools across India. So we took Telangana, from I think 8 different educational blocks. EKAL Foundation, again, thanks to IIT alumni, Ranjani ji and Subra ji, who helped us to rope in people, volunteers from EKAL. We are almost in the 4th week. This is a 6 weeks training that we do. They are almost in the 4th week. We could see a set of amazing people who picked up software testing in a very quick way. The reason why we do that is we want to help startups. There are a lot of startups for whom the purse is not thick, purse is not fat. So they need to conserve cash. Where do I get efficient, at the same time, cost-effective workforce? And where can I get testing done? Because today, PC-based testing, mobile-based testing, bandwidth-based testing, everything needs to be done. Compatibility testing across devices, Android versus iPhone. It's a humongous task for every software product. So we are helping software startup product companies using this workforce. So this is as part of this. We started with 8. Now the next batch is ready. We may be getting another 5, because our need is even to get even 20 people, because we have got startups lined up to consume these people, to employ these people, or on a contract through IITM Pravartak, which is a Section 8 company of IIT Madras. So this is helping in multiple ways, because when we are enabling one person economically in that village, it's a catalyst that creates a lot of positive vibe. It gives a lot of hope. Number two, when we do that to the women, it gives all the more strength, because in our name itself, we have got Shakti, Vidya Shakti. So we feel that Shakti will also come back to us through this area. Now, the way that we look at collaborations, possible collaborations with IIT Madras alumni, one is field visits, because now we will be increasing the number of centers to 300, to even we have submitted proposals to government as well to go to 1,000 centers in the next 1 to 2 years. So field visits, you can go there, and then there are again your volunteers or people can go there, interact with the students. Nothing works like face-to-face meeting. So interact with the students and show simple experiments in a simple way, because they need some external person to always come and motivate. That is one definite positive area. And again, motivational training, especially 10th grade and 12th grade students, they need a lot of, because they get confused with too many inputs. So they need motivational sessions. And again, language. One thing that we noticed is that fundamental language training itself is very much required, because especially in Tamil, colloquial Tamil versus the textbook Tamil, they are two different aspects. Many people, many students, and because of that only, right now government has initiated a message called Nipun. So language-based training is one thing that we need to have, especially spoken English and local languages. And as director mentioned, you can sponsor a village. Again, I am not trying to pitch this as a fundraising thing, but this is possible because there's a passion. How can I contribute? Where can I contribute? And I don't have a manpower in the local area, that we can take care. These 4 areas are definitely possible to make sure that we can reach to people. And these are all the sponsors. Open Mentor is a trust. IFE Academy is a trust. City Union Bank, Sundaram Finance, ICICI Foundation, and our company Resilio, IIT Madras and IITM Pravartak are the current CSR sponsors to this program. And I am extremely honored and humbled by the presence and ashirwads of great people, of people like you as a IIT alumni. So with that, I will stop here. I'm open to questions and answers.
Thank you. Thank you so much. That was a lovely question. Thank you. If anybody has any questions, you may post it on the box, in the chat box, or we can also alternatively unmute you to ask your question. Thank you, Mr. J. Chowdhury. Mr. Nagarajan, is it possible to send the PPT?
Absolutely, definitely we can share.
Would like it?
Yes,
Right.
absolutely.
Also, the recording for this meeting, it will be available on our YouTube channel. We can send you the link after the event is over as well. Any
We will
questions?
definitely share the proposal.
Yeah, thank you. Any questions? Please raise your hand, or you can also unmute yourself.
There is a question by Mr. Vikram Kumar in terms of how much does it, if you have to spread the word, typically what will be the center cost? Again, to give the ballpark figure, for if the village has got more than 20 students per session, the capex is 45,000 rupees and one-time expense. And if it is got less than 10 kids per session, we have just 25,000 rupees should do. So that is the initial cost, one-time cost. And we also send it with spike burst and voltage stabilizers, keyboard and a mic, so that people can have two-way interaction. The kids can answer, ask the question also. That is there. Running cost is, again, we provide honorarium to those coordinators that ranges from 3,000 to 5,000 depending upon the locality. And internet charges also we top up from centralized location. So put together, it will be like anywhere between 40,000 and 60,000 per year. So net, anywhere from 80,000 to a micro center to 1 lakh. The whole village is taken care for 1 full year. And this will cover from 5th to 9th students. That's the ballpark figure.
Mr. Nagarajan, this is J. Chaudhary here.
Yes, sir.
First of all, it's an excellent program. I have a lot of my classmates who are NRIs in North America.
Okay.
I want to reach out to them. I want a little bit more details. Just now you mentioned the operating costs is going to be around 1 lakh. Because capital cost, whatever you're mentioning, I don't think that's an issue. Operating costs, because there has to be commitment on ongoing. We can't, run it for a year and afterwards, if they disappear, then it will impact the program. So I want a little bit more details, how you are able to get the people committed for operating costs year on year. And also the other reason, suppose somebody wants to set it up in their village in a school, XYZ school, initial capital costs, you will bring it. And operating costs, is there any way that you have a mechanism so that we can have a menu of options? Because a lot of individuals, suppose I come from a village, I want to do something in my village, so I don't mind sponsoring the one-time capital costs. But is there any mechanism you have for running this for the taking care of the operation cost? That's my question.
Yeah, sure, sir. Because as we see, this is an execution game. So this is a completely operations game. So the running cost is the one. As once we raise the ball, we cannot drop the ball. So what we do is, one side through IITM Pravartak and many of our partnering agencies, we have a fundraising committee with corporates. So there is, for example, there is a company like Mando or Sundaram Infotech Solutions. They try to bring some money towards that. And at the same time, there are that comes under corporate social responsibility, CSR. Whereas the CapEx with the emotions and other things tied up, it comes from ISR, individual social responsibility. So the individual people also give. So we make a mix of this individual ISR and CSR to meet both the CapEx and the OpEx needs. And as we speak, we are also talking to a lot of banks. And the reason, one of the reasons why we meet the government and the Ministry of Education itself is, in India, because of the 2% CSR law, currently 10,000 crore rupees is there as unspent CSR. This is there in the kitty. Who will get it? If the ministry says, yeah, this is a noble cause, you give, if they give the direction, because each and every company is not in a position to evaluate. There are umpteen number of NGOs come to them. So which is genuine, which is not genuine, which will long last, they don't even know a mechanism to evaluate. So there is an unspent amount of 10,000 crores, which is about $1.25 billion, which is lying there. And next year it will again go with another that much. So we are also pitching to the government to sponsor events, programs like this on a continuous basis, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Nagarajan. I think once if you can send me a PowerPoint which have this information, then I think I should be able to get a lot of my friends, even for the CSR also. I know a lot of MNC companies, the India heads. I can even reach out to them for the CSR support. Send me as much as the information is possible. I think you created a great platform, and it's good for the country. And my last question before others jump in. This content, because it is not the initial capital, the technology is not this thing, but content is the key. How often you are going to enhance the content with new tools like generative AI tools? So are you going to continuously keep enhancing the content, because everybody has got free access to chat GPT kind of a thing. Whether your content is going to be upgraded, it's all about how frequently you update the content and see that it is more and more effective year on year, with all the case studies put into the whatever the links in the website or wherever this thing. So can you give a little bit more details about how that's going to be done?
Yes, sir. One of the things that we feel always that there is already a lot of content available. Content is now a commodity. So you will take from Khan Academy to academic year, there is content, abundant amount of content. But what we are talking about is the kids who do not even have a mobile phone, who do not have access into internet, who do not have a proper environment to study. They have to come to your place. So these are all the rural kids that we are attacking. We are not attacking the top 20% of the people. They want live sessions and then in a specific place. They cannot even attend from their own home. So that is the reason why we have put it separated as a separate environment. Number two, all the content, our teachers, we have trained them well to use simulation site. That is in fact one of the questions from some people. Where are the simulation software sites? There are two sites we can do. One is PHET, FET by Colorado State University. That is one simulation software site. Second thing is, if you check for OLabs space simulation, that is again probably that is another experimenter site. Just 1 second. Let me also do that and then share the screen. That will be easy for you to do.
Nagarajan, if you can also include this information also in your PowerPoint presentation, that so that you have to create many more Nagarajans to promote this great novel project. So unless you give us the weapons and ammunition, so that I can convince lots of people who are willing to donate.
Absolutely, Ji.
Yes, I think that's a great idea. That's a great idea, Mr. Jay Chowdhury.
In fact, I am just an instrument. I'm just one instrument. In fact, we need to keep replicating more and more people. If you go to this olabs.edu.in, you have got everything as per the syllabus of NCERT. So if you go to chemistry, and they have even classified by classes, grades, grade 12, determination of EMF of a cell, determination of concentration of KMNO4 solution. If I have to go on and write a test, I will miserably fail in that. So every experiment that you can think of, and it is not that part. If I go to this one, they have done a wonderful job. If you go inside, exact like lab observation notebook, people need not write any more lab books. It is already written. Step-by-step instructions are there. What is the apparatus required? What is the exact procedure that you need to do? Everything is very clearly done, documented. So unfortunately,
so that means you are curating the content which gets converted into the local language, and that curated content and converted content to the local language, that you make it available to the people who are going to provide the. Is that the mechanism you're adapting?
Yes. The content created by big institutions like IIT Madras or NCERT, they're already there, but unfortunately, they're mostly in English language. So our teachers will take desi ghee, matlab, this is the nei in Tamil, right? Vegetable ghee, this is taken from vegetables. Refined oil, suddhikarikapatta ennai. So we have to tell that, and they may not even, so we have to say water, they may know, but other things we have to teach them in Tamil. The same experiment, except the nomenclature. But if you go to FET, if you go to Colorado FET simulations, this is already available in multilingual. So these are all curated content. So if I go to this locale, and then rather than English, I can go to Bengali, or I can, let me go to just 1 second, Tamil or Telugu. Now everything is translated to Tamil. So this is already done in vernacular. Whereas the one that is doing this is currently, it's all available in English for the Indian NCERT content that we are teaching. That is number one, sir. As you rightly said, we need to keep enthusing them, create a wow factor. Now we have also started creating augmented reality, AR content, because when they see that augmented reality using the mobile, which is again, at least a few people definitely have good mobiles in the villages, they will be in a position to see that.
Of them.
That is a scalable model, because that is a scalable model rather than, and that creates a wow factor with the kids. So we are doing that also the content for the AR will take another 6 months to fully come out, but we are working with NCERT to get that developed fully.
In fact, recently when I visited Aruvel in Pondicherry, there is one NGO, his name is doing a wonderful job in creating the low-cost AR/VR devices with the cardboard boxes, and also enabling the local people in Tamil language to create a lot of content. I will connect. His name is Osama bin some.
Okay.
I'll send you the details, but
Sure, definitely.
recently we spent 3 days there, and they're also, I mean, enabling local women to become an entrepreneur, providing all this thing. They also provide whatever the initial capital and all that, and provide the content. Maybe we should also tie up with such NGOs who are also trying to do.
We always try to collaborate, because this is a geographically spread out game. This is an operations game. We need to have more hands to help locally, and that local touch is the one that will make this a success. And there is one other doubt somebody asked, how the doubts of the students cleared. One is we have trained a few students we have given a keyboard also. The keyboard is also connected to the smart TV, so they can type. Some people who can type, they can do that way. During the session itself, they can type the doubt. Only thing is they will type in a transliterated way. Okay. Samajh mein nahi aa raha hai. So they will type it in English letters, but it will be Hindi words. So they will type. That is one mode. Number two, we have got the sessions only 35 minutes, not 45 minutes like the schools, because we don't have to take attendance. The local people will take attendance. We will have 35 minutes. The last 10 to 15 minutes is only doubt clearing. We make them to ask. The coordinator will be in a position to open their mic, or using their mobile phone. We have designated, because when 100 schools are attending, we cannot open the mic for everybody. So we will say designated a few people. So to ask the doubts, a few villages on a daily basis, 5 to 6 villages on a daily basis, that coordinator will open up their mobile phone and then open the mic. And through that, they will actually interact. And in fact, what we have seen is that during the MCQ session, these people are jumping and then answering, shouting the answers, because they want to show that, yeah, we cracked the MCQ, something like that. So that way, it's a two-way communication, orally also, and through typing also. That makes it more participating, because we want the students to participate. And one more doubt is there. One more question has come in the chat box. Is there any program to train the coordinators, teachers within a cluster of villages? We can do that, provided if the number is at least 10 to 20 people, we can definitely do. This is exactly Andhra Pradesh government has now initiated. They want all the 28,000 science and maths teachers to be reskilled in the simulation software. And we will be doing that. Actually, we are supposed to start on 26th, but because of the Puja holidays, they pushed it. Probably by next week, we will be doing that. Because all said and done, nothing can replace the Guru Mukham learning, seeing the teacher in front of you and learning from them in person. We need to augment them. We need to help them, because they also need a lot of helping hands from the society. We are happy to definitely train. If that Zilla collector can give an order to them, definitely will, or the Ministry of Education, or from the State Ministry of Education, if they are able to do that, definitely we do that.
Mr. Nagarajan, I just want to also, is it okay to share your email addresses? Because a couple of people have asked to for your email address on the chat, and we can, Rakesh, can you share his email address?
Absolutely. You can share my mobile number also, because I don't have any problem with that. I'm happy.
Okay. Very kind of you, sir. Thank you. Yeah.
And one other question was that, is Amrita Vidyapeetham also involved in this, as I can see in OLabs? Actually, Amrita AMU is the one that developed this OLabs itself. All the experiments that you see in this entire site, it's all done by Amrita, and it is sponsored a project by MHRD.
Nagarajan, are you located in IIT Madras campus, or where are you located?
I'm in Chennai only, but I'm outside the campus. I am not a professor there. I'm a project advisor there. So we execute government projects through IIT Madras.
I think there's a very interesting question on the next steps for the alumni, areas where you want them to work with you. So would you like to answer that?
Yeah. as we mentioned in this slide, definitely, if there is a way that any of your people or you visit India during that time, or you are already there, you can do a field visits, and you want to show something, that is number one. And on a language training part and motivational sessions, especially to 10th and 12th. And we also now do for higher education. I didn't want to clutter this discussion to the higher education part, because we focus Vidya Shakti right now. This webinar is specifically for the school education. We also do upskill training for college students. As we speak in Varanasi district, we are training college students of Uday Pratap College and DLW Women's College. Roughly about 600 people have been getting trained in software testing and data analytics. So when it goes from 10th and above, that is where I would see a lot of motivational sessions that can definitely help from IIT alumni. At the same time, if you have a startup, or if you are an investor in a startup, you can refer that startup. We can definitely do software testing for that startup through this rural women empowerment program. That will be a definite tangible connection benefits that we can see from both.
Yeah, Nagarajan, sorry to interrupt again. I have a fund, VC fund. We invested already in 70 to 80 startups. Maybe this service may be useful. If you can send a detailed mail on that,
Sure.
I'll forward it to all those startups where we have funded.
Absolutely great, sir. Pleasure to know, because prior to COVID, 2017, 18, 19, IIT Madras had got a CSR fund from an organization. We trained 60 plus 60 plus 60, 180 people specifically picked up from the rural area. We trained them in software testing. We specifically used them only to do in startups. Out of 180, 172 got placed in either the same startup for which they tested, or people got placed in Amazon as well as HCL or Dell also.
Excellent.
That is the experience. And in fact, IIT Madras gave 10,000 rupees stipend also for 6 months to these people to get trained, because it takes minimum 3 months time for a raw material from fresh out of the college. I'm not talking about IITs, from the other colleges.
Yes.
Get tuned to the industry environment. So the culture building itself takes time. They have good knowledge. Only thing is, we need to teach them in the way that they can consume. That is the way we are working, sir.
Nagarajan, my suggestion, see, everybody is busy, everybody has got their own multiple things. So to get this properly executed, can you create some 3-4 people who have showed interest on this call, a separate WhatsApp group? In that, let's start getting into action. What is it I can do? How is it I can connect this thing? Maybe some suggestions may come, so that seeing is believing. Suppose if I experiment in my village, I can go on TomTom, everybody, I used IIT Madras, this Vidya Shakti, this thing they have done, this thing. So only Nagaraj is talking about. That's what I mean. You have to create a chain reaction of Nagarajans to talk about this.
Absolutely,
and that for that, my suggestion is create 4 or 5 good volunteers of IIT alumni members who are showing interest. And in that, let us get into brass tacks. What action we can take, and what required, who is going to contact CSR, the enabling CSR funding, like that. We need to get into the this thing. Once you start getting into that this thing, I think the messages will be spread, and everybody, because the amounts what you are talking is not a such a big this thing. Easily at individual level, individual CSR, ICR level itself, I think a lot of employees who are working in the industry, they themselves can provide some kind of a funding for their village to upgrade their children. This thing.
Definitely. Probably, I would like the help of Shyamala ji and Nishani ji to get the WhatsApp group, so that we can form that, and then we definitely will be in a position to coordinate completely.
Excellent. Thanks a lot. Congratulations, and I'll be more than happy to whatever I can for this great initiative.
Sure, sir. And
Thank
one
you.
more thing, Vikram Kumarji, in fact, 1 month back, I was in Vijayawada. So we met the Samagra Siksha team there in Vijayawada. So very soon we'll be coming to Vijayawada, because the first set of training, I will also inform you when the training of those teachers is going to happen. Definitely when we come to before we come to Vijayawada, we will inform you, Ji. Definitely.
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. In interest of time, shall we close, sir, or you can take a couple of more questions?
I'm all here. No problem.
Okay. If anyone has any more questions, you can always write it down here. We will be circulating a form, Mr. Kannan Rajagopalan. I've seen that you are, we've already circulated a form, Shamla has. But what we will do is after this session, I think we want to amplify our engagement in a quicker way, for which Mr. Nagarajan, we can work along you and create a form where we circulate interest of those who are interested in these specific areas, including sponsoring and adopting one center, and then we can in a organized manner take it forward from there.
Definitely. Absolutely.
And also the WhatsApp group. I think that's come from a
Right.
couple of people, so we will definitely start on this WhatsApp group as well. So
Yeah.
thank you
Definitely.
so much, everybody. I think this is a wonderful session. The amount of engagement and the questions and the ideas that have come forward are great. And Mr. Nagarajan, the work that you're doing is amazing. We're so proud that we're in a position to be able to interact with these centers, and I think everybody will definitely go back home thinking about how they can actually help these centers in any small way or big way that they can. Thank you so much.
This is again our kartavya. So we are again, reason why we are doing this, because of our teachers only. So I thank all my teachers at this point of time.
That's such a
So
wonderful.
Nagarajan, before we log off, every individual wants to do something.
I think we lost the voice there, I think.
Are you able to hear?
We lost you in the middle.
Yeah, we lost you in the middle.
No, let me repeat. See, every individual, they want to do something for the society, particularly in the education segment for the poorest of the poor, but they don't have access to a credible platform like what IIT Madras alumni or what you have created, which is sustainable, which is also, cost effective. I think definitely we IIT Madras alumni, with our contacts everywhere, we can do wonders on this. So let's create the small WhatsApp group, get into action, and Mr. Nagarajan, send all the links, all those things in the PPT, so that I'll start sharing to my Rolodex these things. See that many more people can get on to become a champion. We have to motivate them, and like what we have done in this call, like that we should talk to them and motivate them, inspire them. That chain reaction should happen.
Sure, sir. Definitely.
All the best. All the best.
Thank you, sir. We are all here. In fact, my energy level has gone crore times up after meeting all of you here today. My pleasure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thanks.
Jai Bharat.